Support from friends, family, professionals, and community organizations is particularly important to individuals with special needs and the families that care for them. EP's annual Family and Community issue is filled with information and personal stories that are intended to help improve the lives of those with special needs and those who care for them. Sign up and read the issue for free at www.epmagazine.com.
Suicide is preventable, and each of us has a role to play in suicide prevention.
Suicide is complex. There is no single cause.
And it's not always a mental health issue. It could be loss of a job or home, financial or relationship issues, pain, or leaving the military.
Suicide does not discriminate. It affects all ages, races, and genders, veterans or not.
If you know a veteran who is struggling, connect with them. Let them know help is available.
There is quick and easy access to services in times of crisis.
Dial 988, then press 1. Talking about it is okay.
Don't keep it inside. Don't be ashamed. Don't wait. Reach out.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Hello and welcome again to Oscar Mike Radio. This is the first show episode for 2024. Oscar Mike Radio is part of the Hubazoo Network and co-produced with Sinister One Productions. You can find out more on hubazoo.com. Again, this is the first show for 2024. I'm thankful for my sponsors, Joyce Asack of Asack Real Estate, Mark Holmes of Reapers Detailing and Power Washing, and my veteran-owned business supporters, Kason Shaving Company, Black Cat Designs, and Savage American Woodwork. Now, folks, it's already 2024. I hope your holidays was good, happy, and bright. We're rolling on. We're on the move. We are Oscar Mike, and I am pleased to start off 2024 with a special guest who has already become near and dear to my heart, Faye Simon of Exceptional Parent Magazine. Welcome to Oscar Mike Radio.
Thank you so much, Travis. I am so honored to be here and to start off the 2024 season. So thank you so much for inviting me.
It's been great. I want to give a big shout out to Nick Bennis and Buzz Bryan for making the connection with Oscar Mike Radio and Exceptional Parent Magazine and Faye. So we're just going to have a great time learning about what you do, the people you serve, and how you feature military families in your magazine. But before we get to all that good stuff, and it's all good, kind of tell us who Faye is, because, you know, I don't run across people like yourself every day, Faye. So who is Faye Simon?
Well, by trade, I'm an early childhood teacher, and I worked with children from pre-K to second grade. And during that time, I worked with children of various abilities and needs. So after that, I moved up to Northern Jersey, and the commute as a teacher was terrible. It was 2 to 3 hours each way. So it was a new chapter for me, and I started a brain research foundation that's totally volunteer run, including me. And we provide summer fellowships for students who may be interested in going into the field of neuroscience. Meanwhile, while I'm doing that, my husband, who is a business consultant, learned about the fact that Exceptional Parent Magazine was failing. Now, I knew about this magazine as a teacher, and I told my husband that being that he had a choice of taking it bankrupt or saving it, that I would help him save it. It was too important a magazine to let it go. So we've been working with Exceptional Parent Magazine for about 8 years now. And when we got it, there was no print magazine. There was a handful of paid for digital subscriptions. And now we have almost 16,000 digital subscriptions that are free. That's one of the most exciting things, that we were able to make the digital version free. We brought back the print magazine for a variety of reasons. One, some people either need or want the print copy. They want to be able to turn the pages. Maybe they can't handle the digital version. Also, doctors, businesses, schools, camps, they like to put it out for their patients, their families, and then all these people get to see the magazine as well. So we're back, and I worked my way up to editor-in-chief, and I'm loving every minute of it. Although it's so different than teaching, I get to help parents and children and teachers, but just a different way.
It was very interesting. That aspect of your story really interested me because, like a lot of us veterans, we have to reinvent ourselves. You go from teacher and teaching, young children to running a magazine. What was that transition like?
That's a really interesting question, because I'll tell you honestly, when they use that phrase "out of your comfort zone," that's perfect. Because like you said, I was very comfortable working with children, talking to the parents at back to school night, helping them work with their children. All of a sudden now I have, first of all, a variety of responsibilities, because I not only reach out to contributors and authors. I not only read every single article and decide what fits in the magazine and edit for clarity and punctuation and grammar. I'm also reaching out for readers, because my dream, now that we have EP for free, the digital version for free, is that everybody who can benefit from this wonderful information knows that they can read it for free. So I'm creating partnerships with organizations. I'm reaching out to influencers. I'm reaching out to, like I said, authors. So I have so many different responsibilities, and not one of them is actually teaching. So it's very different, but I'm loving it. And what happens, and I'm sure many of you veterans see the same thing, is all of a sudden you're able to use skills you have, but you really didn't get a chance to use them in that particular time. So now these skills, which I always probably had, just weren't used because I didn't need them per se. And yet some of them, and many of them, I guess I would say, many of the skills actually are similar to what I did in teaching. I mean, I had to go over the children's work and help them and edit it. I mean, there's a lot of things that are similar, and there are many things that are different. And that kind of makes it more exciting in some ways.
Well, one of the things, if I may, we get connected through Nick and Buzz, and I start understanding what the magazine is, what it does, who it serves. I have to tell you, people throw around the word hero or warrior, or we're in a battle, for a sporting event, for instance. But I'm going through your magazine, and I'm a parent myself. I have 3 sons, they're older, but the challenges I thought I faced as a parent pale in comparison to some of the challenges these parents and their amazing children overcome. And I am like, these are amazing people whose story has to be told. I have to think, if I'm getting that when someone else who's going through similar types of challenges reads about another parent going through the same thing or something similar, it must be a different feeling for them that I can't describe, because I haven't gone through that, Faye.
Well, you're right. I mean, I'm sure it's similar to, we who are not veterans try to put ourselves in your shoes and try to imagine what you've all gone through. And there's no possible way we could understand it. We could try to empathize, but we can't possibly understand it. And I think you're right. It's the same thing. If you don't have a child with disabilities, or a parent or a sibling or yourself, you can empathize, but I don't think we can ever truly understand as if we had it. However, one of the major missions in our magazine is awareness, acceptance, and inclusion, and encouraging that always.
I got that very clearly. These are you know, your stories are about people going through the process of parenthood, you know, bringing their children into this world and really engaging with your readership in a way that I just don't see every day. And so I'm sitting there and I'm reading through your magazine online, and you can sign up for free. I'll have the link in the Oscar Mike Radio show post. And it was just story after story of resilience and victories and challenges. So my question to you, Faye, is how do you decide which story to tell? Does that, because they're all amazing. So how do you do that?
Wow, that's an interesting question. A lot of it's just gut instinct.
Yeah,
A lot of it is talking to people in the community, going to different events, experiencing. I mean, one of my favorite interviews, as you can see the cover, Dan Knudsen, he is a true hero. And he lost both his legs above the knee. And he is still one of the most positive people you could ever want to meet. He actually
really.
does motivational speaking.
So tell,
And as you see on the cover, here he is with his legs, and the prosthesis, it's always a hard word for me to say, and running. And he is a Paralympic champion, gold medal winner. So, I mean, I go from like the young man you see holding his back to school slate with his name on it to adults. That's one of the things about the magazine is we cover anything from infancy to elderly, because although the magazine has been in existence for over 50 years, and I'm sure that with the name Exceptional Parent, the first thought was children. But children with special needs, with disabilities, grow up to become adults with special needs or disabilities. And so I really believe that we need to span the lifetime. So we have all ages. And I think that, like I said, to me, I can't say it enough. What's important is I look for stories, I look for information that encourages awareness, acceptance, and inclusion. So, I'm looking for that. I try to think about all the people I'm meeting. I go to different events and I talk to and the different authors. And I always try to think about, does this do what our goal is? The magazine itself is information, resources, and inspiring stories. Parents of children with special needs or disabilities are looking for information. They're looking for resources. Many times there are not enough. And we hope also sometimes our articles can give people information or ideas that maybe other people will create the resources and the organizations needed. For instance, sometimes I'll have something really wonderful, but it's within one state. And I'm hoping that, being that we're a national magazine, that other states will take this on. So it's not easy. We do have a calendar that we call our editorial calendar. And that has what we call themes. And so you'll see, like, for instance, in May, it's mobility. So you'll see a few articles specifically on mobility. But we also do what we call features, and that would be articles not on a theme, because you can't hold a specific topic to a month. All these topics are so important that anytime during the year, it's important. So we do have themes. Some people really like to know that there's going to be specifically some information about mobility, or specifically about adaptive sports, or specifically about autism. I wish there were more than 12 months a year, because there's not enough months for all the themes I could possibly think of, but we do the best we can. And our goal is always to enlarge the amount of topics and areas that we can give information on. We'll never cover everything. We can never make everybody happy, but we do our best to keep asking, what would you like to learn about? Where do you need resources? I got one parent, because we are on social media, which has been helping a lot to get the word out. And I had one parent actually respond to a post and say, I would like more information on a parent with 2 children with autism, 2 children with disabilities or special needs. And I started reaching out to all my authors, all my contributors, and I've gotten several articles that are covering that. So I love feedback from readers of, I would like to see more on this topic. I would like to see something on this topic that maybe hadn't been covered. I mean, for instance, there's many rare diseases that I wouldn't even know about. And they come to me and would say, great, now we can let people know about it. So it's a hard answer, a hard question to answer. But it's, I guess, heart, thought, and whatever I can put into saying, I think this would make a great article. This sounds like great information. How the articles need to be is helpful. In other words, it's not a complaint session, although anybody who is dealing with some of these very, very difficult issues have a right to complain. But that's not what we are. What we are is real, human information and stories. But ultimately, it has to lead to, this worked. This could help. Here are some resources. Otherwise, I'm not sure what we would be doing. We really want to help. We want to provide information, resources. We want to inspire. We want to uplift to the best of our ability in what is a very difficult situation for many.
So that leads me to my next question, which is, when I was made aware of exceptional parent, I noticed that there was, multiple issues with a focus on military families. And so I'm curious, did you focus on military families because people asked for it, or how did that come to be a focus for you? Because now you can read your magazine and there's a section dedicated for the military family, which is very interesting to me because, I believe the next stage of veterans advocacy is the family unit.
Well, I wish I could take credit for it, but the military section, which actually is in every issue.
Okay.
So every month you will find a military section, was there when I came on. My understanding and my feeling is that, number one, sadly, as you know, many, many, many veterans come back with a disability or special need. And we had a whole series, a 7-month series on PTSD, for instance, which sadly is a big result of what you guys have to go through to, protect our country. And just a side note, thank you for your service and all the veterans and all the military now. But so we've got the individuals who come back and they have a need, they have a disability, and we want to help them. As a parent, if you are a military family, as I'm sure you know, you move around a lot. So picture having a child that needs resources and needs special help, needs more help than somebody who doesn't have this disability or different help. And now you're moving around. So now you don't have those resources and you've got to start all over again. So the sensitivity to the fact that a parent of a child with disabilities is moving around due to being in the military is one of the biggest reasons that, in addition to the individuals, that we have a military section every single month.
I never even thought about that. It makes sense now that you're educating me about this. But if your station, say where I was in Yuma, Arizona, and you develop a community relationship with people who can help you out, and you get orders to go to Okinawa next year with your family, I mean, you could be in a different country trying to get advocacy and help and just support for someone to come over and have a cup of coffee with you or help you do dishes. I've never thought about those challenges before.
Absolutely. That's exactly right.
You do this and you put your life and your energy into this magazine to help so many people. What's it like? You're doing all this work and people don't really see what editors do. I know what you all do, right? But it's not like you're building a house or something like that, or baking a cake. But what's it like when a parent or reader comes to you and says, you know what, this article really helped me out, or this article opened my eyes? What's that like for you and your team, the work you all do?
Oh, it's wonderful. And as you were talking about similarities, going one to the other, that when I was a teacher, there was nothing better than a parent coming to me and telling me what I did for their child, or a child coming and giving me a hug and thanking me. I worked with one child and she said, "You make math easy for me." She was struggling with math. So it's exactly the same with the magazine. Like you said, I put my heart and soul into it because that's just what I do, no matter what I'm doing. And it's exhausting. It's more than I bargained for, as always. It's way more hours than I could have imagined. But to hear these parents, and believe me, in person, via email, parents, teachers, educators, it just makes you feel like it's worth every minute. It makes me feel like, okay, I know why I'm doing this, because that's what it's all about. I mean, I've always been a kind of person that wants to help. That's what I did when I was a teacher. That's what I do with the foundation, the Brain Research Foundation. That's what I do with the magazine. There's nothing more gratifying than knowing you are helping. And I do it without expectation of hearing it. But when you hear it, there's no better gift.
That's outstanding. You had an amazing year. I went back and looked at a lot of the issues from 2023 and 2022. And so I'm thinking, what's next for Exceptional Parent, yourself, in 2024? COVID's over. People are getting back out in the world. And I really like this aspect of, awareness, acceptance, and inclusion. Is that still the much in focus, or has that changed at all?
Not at all. That is our focus. Like I said, my dream is that everybody shares, everybody reposts, everybody sends it out, everybody talks about it, and anybody who can benefit from this information knows they can read it for free. Also, what I didn't mention was, if somebody has a visual impairment, they can have the magazine read to them.
How does that work?
Now, I'm not tech, but
Okay.
there is a universal app. I don't know what they call it exactly. I knew it one time, but you just go on and there is a way to click and have it read to you.
That's
And that
amazing.
was done. And I'm thrilled with that, because I think probably most people would not realize that if they have visual impairment, that they can read the magazine. And so that's something I try to let everybody know and spread the word. We have some authors who have been submitting articles from Helen Keller Institute, from Miami Lighthouse for the Blind, and they hopefully are letting I'm sure they are letting all their people know you can actually have it read to you. So that to me is an exciting part of it as well, because like I said, our goal is always to increase who we're helping. And so that's big for us. The other thing that people should know is, I know some people they sign up, and there is a cost for the print magazine because, it costs us.
Right.
And our goal, it's not a moneymaker. It's a labor of love. It is not a moneymaker. As a matter of fact, we're hoping to break even soon, but that's our goal. We just would like it to break even. We'd like to be able to continue it indefinitely. And we want to keep EP for free. We want to keep that digital version access for free and read to anybody with a visual impairment. They also, which I think is really important, if there's something in particular they want to hold or they want to hand to somebody and say, hey, read this, they can actually print it. They can download it and print it.
Oh, very
So
nice.
that's great too.
Is there a way for, say, like a nonprofit or an organization or a company to support you at that level?
Well, the nonprofits and the organizations generally don't have money. Like the way we support the magazine, the way we can keep it going is by advertisers. So
Okay.
if there are advertisers that either have a service or a product that they would like to put in front of this audience, we would love to have them. Particularly from anywhere, if they have online shopping, because it's a national magazine, they can benefit from having a presence. Then there are others who just want to support the magazine, who what we call have a corporate warmth. They want to just get out there and say, I support you, and they will do an advertisement. That's how we keep it going. That's where the support we need. The organizations and nonprofits that generally don't have a budget, some do, and it's great when they help us. The nonprofits and organizations, I usually create a partnership, and it's more a barter, where they will put it in their newsletter. They will put it on their website. They will send out an e-blast, but they will let their families know you can read this for free. That's my biggest hope in terms of the nonprofits. Some of the nonprofits will also submit very helpful information and resources. So that's what I work on. Is we want to find, we're not going to ever make it mostly advertisement. That's never going to be our magazine. It's going to be enough advertisements to keep the magazine going and keep EP for free. But we do need some more. And then the others is more about getting the word out that they can sign up for EP for free, and knowing that we're just touching more and more lives.
Well, to that end, I had a great experience getting to know you. And again, thank you, Nick and Buzz, for that connection. We're going to make this official, Faye, right here, right now. The first show for 2024 is, every Oscar Mike Radio episode and show post, and every post that goes to the website will feature EP Magazine, Exceptional Parent Magazine, how you can get to it, and the fact that the digital version is free on every Oscar Mike Radio post going forward. So I felt really your mission and your story and the stories of these amazing children and parents really hit me in the feels. And I'll tell people I don't have a heart, but it awoke something within me that I hadn't felt in a long time. And as a parent, I really feel that these parents and these kids are warriors, they're heroes. And so I'm pledging my support to you and your mission however I can.
I cannot thank you enough. And I'm just going to do a little side note. I hope I don't offend anybody, but when I was reading that wonderful book that they are sharing with Exceptional Parent Magazine, Nick and Buzz, as you know, have been allowing me to take chapter after chapter and use it as articles as part of the magazine in the military section. And no offense to any of the other authors, but yours resonated with me the most. And I was so thrilled when we were able to connect. And this is far beyond what I ever expected. And I thank you with all my heart for sharing like that.
No, I really did. It's just something that I resonated with the mission. I understood what you were trying to do. And these stories, again, we throw around the word hero, we throw around the word warrior and banter, but I'm like, these are parents that I can learn from. So I just appreciate the opportunity, and we're going to do some great things together. Oh, go ahead.
Can I just mention that it's really interesting you say that our contributors are not only experts in different fields, educational professionals, medical professionals, legal professionals, financial professionals, but a lot of parents will share their story, share their successes, share their resources.
Well, that's the thing, right? We are stronger together. I mean, in the military, we say no one fights alone. We need each other. I got
Yeah.
your six. And that did come out in the magazine where, hey, I'm a parent. I have the situation, and here's what I did to get through it. Here's how my child is doing now. And it's like I was reading the Marine Corps times back when I was in the military. Here's what we did to move the mission forward. So it came across real well, Faye.
Oh, I'm so glad. And just so everybody knows, we don't pay for articles. We can't, even if we wanted to. We're just barely making it by. But the bottom line is why I'm mentioning this is, of course, anybody who's interested in contributing an article can reach out to me. Absolutely. But here are medical professionals, lawyers, teachers, they're doing it because they want to help, because they want to share, and they're not getting paid for it. So I think that's worth mentioning. We're all here, like you said, to help. The parents want to help each other. The teachers want to help, even though they're not getting paid for this extra time. The medical profession, everybody would like to help. We are family. We consider it like the EP magazine family. We're all there for the same reason. We want to help. And you sharing on your show is such a huge help, because so many people that didn't know about it will learn about it. And what's interesting is whether I go to like big events or whether I talk to organizations, one of the things I always hear is like, oh, I wish I had learned about this years ago. I mean, I mentor some students at Montclair University, and they have a communications program. And this wonderful professor, Professor Green, he creates, in addition to teaching them about communications, marketing, he creates a situation where they work in a real world situation. So he invited me, and he actually has a son with autism, so he has a real understanding, and he loves the magazine. And one of the things he said when I was presenting to his class, before mentoring the children, college students, and he said, I wish I knew about the magazine 11 years ago. So that's very exciting to know that once we all share, and like you're helping, think of all the people who don't know about it. They're going to say, thank you, Travis. I would have loved to know about this years ago, but thank you for telling me now. I mean, I can't think of anything better than that.
That's got to make your day. And when those long nights hit and you're going over copying, you're trying to get the formatting right, it's all worth it, isn't it, Faye?
Well, yeah. I mean, I read it, I edit it, and we have a wonderful, talented design director who makes it look the way the magazine looks. He is very talented and very dedicated. And, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm so proud of this magazine.
Well,
I'm proud of the way it looks, but that's Lev's doing. I don't take credit for how it looks, but yes, it's a lot of time to read all. I mean, it's kind of exciting. It's a good problem to have that I do get so many submissions that it takes me so long to have to go through it and which month it's going to be, and is it appropriate for our magazine? But that's a great problem to have. I am never worried about getting information, which is wonderful. I mean, when I took it on, it was different. I really had to let people know we were here. But now through social media, LinkedIn, we have LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And through all those, not only are we getting readers because they didn't know about it, but we're getting people that ask me, can I contribute an article? Which is so flattering, because people aren't going to do that unless they think it's quality, because it's their reputation at stake.
Sure. Well,
So it's very exciting.
Well, the most important question of the day then is, how do you get the print version, and how do you get the digital, online version?
Good question. Both can be done by going to the website at www.epmagazine.com.
Okay.
Print version costs, the digital version is free. We encourage people to go just to even look at the magazine to see if it's something they want to sign up for. I'd be surprised if most people wouldn't, because if this is the kind of information and resources and stories you are looking for, you're going to want to sign up, and you can sign up for free. And like I said, we do, with the price of the magazine, believe it or not, is at cost. It's more than it was because, as you know, costs of paper and printing and things have gone way up, but we kept it at our cost. The point was not to make money on it, but we want people who, whether it's an individual who really prefers the magazine or needs the magazine, we have doctors, we have lawyers, we have people that have an office that will buy the subscription and put it out for their clients, which I think is wonderful. Schools, libraries. So if anybody wants the print or the digital, they just have to go to www.epmagazine.com. Those people who are more social, they can go to, now I would like to say this is important.
Okay.
I want them to be very careful about the social media that they do, because we had some past social media, and sadly the person who was in charge of it died and never gave us the access.
Oh no.
So it's not active, and they'd be going to something that's not active. So I would like to say Exceptional Parent Magazine Facebook is Exceptional Parent Magazine. No, excuse me. Exceptional Parent Mag, just MAG. Exceptional Parent Mag is the Facebook. Both Twitter and Instagram are at EPM Zine. If they go to the others, we're not seeing it. They're not seeing current posts. So EPM Zine is for both Instagram and Twitter. And then I'm LinkedIn with it as well.
I will have those links in the Oscar Mike Radio show post, so you go to the right place. We want you to go to the right place. So thank you for pointing that out, Faye. What a great way to start off 2024 with Oscar Mike Radio about this. It's adaptability, awareness, and inclusion. Did I get that right?
We say awareness, acceptance, and inclusion.
See, I'm not perfect, but awareness, acceptance, and inclusion all around this aspect of resiliency is just, this is what Oscar Mike Radio is all about. And the fact that you're serving not just military families, you're serving all families worldwide. It's a really amazing experience to be connected with you, Faye. I really appreciate you coming on and talking with me.
Well, first of all, I want to tell you that adaptability is not a bad word, because if you think of it, inclusion often includes adaptability, adapting to different needs.
Okay.
And I cannot thank you enough. I am so honored and flattered to start your year off. I love our connection and working together. I appreciate your passion and support of the magazine. And I wish everybody a wonderful, healthy, productive new year. And please feel free to reach out to me if you have questions, if you have stories or information you want to share. My feeling is, if you do social media, sharing and retweeting is much better than just liking. We're thrilled when you like it, but from what I hear, and I'm not a maven on social media, they say sharing and reposting really gets to the people that you want to get to. 100%. You may know more than I do.
100%. I couldn't agree more. Sharing is caring, literally. So no, we're off to a fast start for 2024. It's amazing what connections you will get. And, if you're looking for some real stories of heroes and people who are Oscar Mike in action, go to EP Magazine, go to Exceptional Parent Magazine. So
yes, and if you don't mind me just adding,
go ahead.
Stories, yes, definitely are important, but I want them to know there's a lot of information and resources. This may sound terrible, but some parents are so busy that they might not be as into the stories, but they might be more into the information and resources. Other parents, teachers, individuals may love the stories, but that's what we have, all three. We have information, resources, and inspirational stories. And I just wanted people to know so that they can decide whether this is something that could help them.
Fantastic. 2023 was an amazing year for Oscar Mike Radio. 2024, as you see, is off to a great start. I'm Travis, and the host of Oscar Mike Radio, with my guest from Exceptional Parent Magazine, Faye Simon. Faye, as we say in Oscar Mike Radio, we are mission in flight. Thank you again. It's going to be a great partnership. Thank you. Thank you for listening and watching Oscar Mike Radio, where our active duty service members and veterans are in action and the mission is in flight. Oscar Mike Radio is an oversized load Co-Sinister One production. If you are a veteran or know a veteran who needs help, please dial 988 and press 1 for the Veterans Crisis Line.